Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks for those that have started here early, tuning in. Oops, sorry about that. Welcome to the Microfleet Collectors 119. So tonight we're going to chat through quite a bit of stuff. We got some Series 6 news, we got San Diego Comic-Con to talk through, and a bunch more. So thanks for everybody that's tuning in. I myself, Kevin, here with Kevin's Microfleet, and then also have Cole from
What's
Micro
up, guys?
Page.
Happy
So
to be here. Happy to be back so soon.
I know, yeah,
Still a lot to cover, but maybe we're in a little better shape than last time when we took about 6 weeks off.
yeah, absolutely. I would totally agree with you there. Hey, what's up? Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, DC Metro. All right. I like that. Cool. Thanks for tuning in as well. We got Luke on here already. Thanks for
It's the
tuning
government
in.
account, the actual DC Metro government accounts
That'd
chatting
be
in there
great.
with us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Oh, it's Scott. Is that Scott Jones? Man, that is a serious name there. Nemesis Angel. All right. Rich is tuned in. Found the Phantom Shuttle. All right, cool. So yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to get started with everything here in a couple minutes. We'll allow everybody that wants to sign on to sign on. So, yeah, the big news here, I think, is Deadpool Wolverine coming out.
that's
Right?
that's the big news.
Isn't that what happened? Didn't that come out this week? Like a couple days ago?
Did it? No, last week.
Yeah, I don't know.
Week.
I saw some video of Hugh Jackman finding out that it was like the #1 movie in the world or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it was last week.
that was
Surely.
last week. Nice.
I don't think my time is off that much. It feels like it's been a while since I've seen it already.
Oh, you already saw it?
Yeah, last a week from this past Thursday.
Oh man, already seen it 3 times. Wow, no kidding. I have not seen it yet, so don't spoil it for me. Um, but it does look cool.
Wolverine's in it. Spoiler.
I know. I'm so glad Hugh Jackman came back to do it again. Although I will say Logan was such a great sign off. That was an awesome movie.
It
That was
was.
really good.
It was.
Yep.
They'll
Um,
they'll address that.
yeah, nice.
They
So
know.
yet Olympics are going on too in the world right now. Have you been watching any of the
Woo.
Olympics?
Man, I'm not a huge Olympics person. It's fine.
Yeah. Yep.
Um I have been home a lot of the week
Hmm.
watching the baby working from home.
Nice.
So, it's been on quite a bit.
Yeah, that's good.
Just
That's
because
perfect
I've been
for it.
home so much this week, it's been a lot of
Yeah.
background noise, while I've been working from home. So,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it's
great.
fine. And now, uh, COVID has struck the home for
Uh-oh.
the
Is it
first time
rolling
in
through the whole family? Think
quite a while. That's a
it's
thing
really
now.
going around, man.
Yeah, it is. It's insane. So, there will probably be more Olympics in the future for me, for sure.
Oh yeah, I bet. I bet. Thanks for the
Today,
comment here about the reviews.
yeah,
Absolutely.
today with the kids home, it was mostly Young Jedi Adventures though. So
Oh, nice.
a lot of
Now, do the
nubs
kids
today.
have it, or is it the parents have it and the kids haven't picked it up yet?
Uh, it has started with the kids.
Nice.
Not feeling the best today, so we'll
Yep.
see. We'll see. Not feeling the best, but yeah, we watched a lot of nubs. Listen, Jazzwares, swing for the fences here.
Yeah,
Let's make a speeder with nubs. I'm just saying.
that would be awesome.
Um,
I would
let's
definitely be
go
in
for
for
it.
that.
Let's get crazy.
Yeah.
Series 8, Series 9. What have we got left to do? Come, like let's get nubs on a speeder. Come
Yeah.
on.
No,
He'd be
absolutely.
maybe the size of Yoda. It'd be small. I don't know how you
Hmm.
get him on a speeder and have him stay there.
Well,
But
the same as you did with the Ewok. Like,
that's for Gihun to figure out, not me. So
yep.
Mr. Jazzwares, let's see nubs. Let's get real weird.
I know. I know. Yeah,
I
for sure.
do for real though. The Vector would be amazing. I do want to see a Jedi Vector.
Vector for yep. Absolutely. Jedi Adventures is awesome. Yeah, the only thing about it is they're just sitting around, which is a shame. But well, we've hit the 5 minute mark, so let's go ahead and kind of roll with it. I mean, again, we got a lot of stuff to cover. Typically we started out here with a roundup of Series 1 all the way up to Series 5. We're going to skip that tonight. There's just a bunch of stuff trickling out there in the market and lots of different places. So we're going to dive right into Series 6, which is exciting. So we got the collector's guide, which came out, which was the collector's guide came out. We can say
After
that.
Comic-Con.
Yep. And so here is what it looks like. Unfortunately, with this is not accurate. So as we take a look at this here, really with the top row of the Scout class, this is where there is a mistake on the collector's guide, which is a real shame because it does not show that the green clone that's on the far right side of the screen is actually a rare, and it doesn't have the red clone, which is going to be your chase.
It's
1 of 5,000.
really hard to find this time.
Yeah.
Not even on the guide.
Yes, that's exactly right.
You
and
just
even
have
those
to guess now.
Yeah, even those that are looking at the guide are probably going to miss out on it. Good evening, Richard. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in from Canada.
They're 0 for 3 since Series 3, but I will say this is in a lot better shape than Series 4.
Yeah,
much better shape than Series 4 was in. So they're getting real close.
And here is what the actual layout of the Scout class assortment looks like. So you've got your 4 commons there on the bottom, then you got your rare and your chase, and they're calling that the green one is a sergeant and the red one is a captain.
Right.
So there you go.
This is a slide from their we'll get to this later, but a slide from their very short section of the Jazzwares panel from Comic-Con.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, the red clothes are hard to find. Red marker. Yep. Yes. The advantage of these is that they're not terribly different from the actual item themselves. So they're relatively easy. If you didn't even get one, you can just take a little bit of paint and paint them.
Get you a red Gundam marker,
That's exactly right. That would be the way to do it because it's they're going to be challenging to find 1 of 5,000. We have seen a couple case assortments. So the case assortments, I found at least one of them is all commons. So it's 3 of each of the common vehicles. And then there was one that found Scott ended up finding out in California, the one that had the rares in it.
I've seen several people find a rare case that has three rares packed in with it. I have not seen anybody find a chase case assortment in stores yet. Not a single report from anybody on Facebook or sending in messages or anything like that.
Right.
Kevin, have you found a captain yet?
No. It seems like it's going to be again Amazon and River Trading Company as well. Those sets
River Colony Trading
Company. So they were on Amazon previously. Their Scout packs are a little more expensive, so it's about $10, double the cost of the blind at retail.
It's however, like $11 each now. It's crazy. I think it's $32.99.
Yeah,
they're insane.
And so those do tend to have a very high chase and rare, amounts. So
I think this time it seemed like a lot of people chose to pass on the expensive ones this time. But
yeah, and I would say if you're like a really hardcore collector where you want to have all of them, and be able to get them, I would highly recommend going that way. So yep, there is Cole got one. And then one of our other members, Christy, ended up getting both. Actually, she got
2 of each.
2 of each. Yeah. I think
she got 12 total.
Okay, 4
so
sets. Yeah.
4 sets. and she got 2 rares and 2 chases. So I got one 3-pack, and it had the
Yep.
chase.
Nice.
So, you know,
So now you're golden.
I get it. It's expensive, but the results speak for themselves.
Yeah. Amazon and Walmart both have the Series 6 3-packs now.
I figure if I get 1 or 2 of these 3-packs and the bundles, which are also pretty generous, come
Yeah.
in, I don't know that I'm going to have to buy a case in a store, or maybe any in a store. I might buy a couple so I can take the display, the PDQ box with me.
Yeah. For
But
sure. Yes,
you
there's
know,
yeah, and the PDQ does look awesome. It
it's
looks
great.
really
It's the
nice.
same design as Series 5, right? It's the newer
It is, yeah.
design.
And
I
so
wonder
that's
how
one
many
where I
we'll
would
find
say,
that are ripped.
yeah, you got probably a 50-50 shot there of it looking in good condition. The first one that I found had the front piece was bent, and the reason why is because that display part, it comes in the box with that cover all the way over top of it. So
Right.
you have to take all of the items off the top to then be able to kind of wedge
Tuck
it
it
back in
behind
there
them, yeah.
and then put them back in. So
And a lot of retail
don't care.
associates don't have time for that.
No. Yep. So I did
Not
see
about
one
that.
that had bent, one had it completely ripped off, and then I did find one that was completely perfect. So
Nice.
glad to be able to find that
I've
one.
yet to find a case in store yet.
Yeah. Yep. Walmart's, man, they had them. They're still rolling out too. I did see they've been found now in the
Yeah.
Northeast. So yeah, if you haven't seen one, I would hit up your local Walmart and hopefully you can find some.
A couple people have found them at Target now too.
Yeah, I was surprised
So
to see
they're
that.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So for anybody troop building, really, I would say with this one, I mean, again, when you're looking at the actual series itself and what you're getting, this is the battle of Geonosis, is what it is. So you get
Yeah.
your ATTE that has the ability to seat 11 different figures. And now you have the chance of being able to fill that out relatively well. So, I mean, if you get the common case pack, you're talking about getting 6 more troopers, as well as you get the bark speeder. Unfortunately, or not the bark speeder, the staff. Unfortunately, the staff and the Geonosian bug are the exact same as they were in previous series. However, the staff was in series 2, which was very difficult to find anyways. So I think it is
Sure. Yeah.
reasonable for
That's a
them
good
to
point.
re-release that one and push that one out there. The Geonosian bug is kind of like, all right, well, we had it in the last one, so we don't really need it.
And this is touching on a lot of stuff, right? I mean, it works really well with the ATTE, and it's
Mhm.
also an answer to the troop packs.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of vocal people that want troop packs. That's not something that they are able to do. And this is the answer to that. They can either load down some of the store exclusives. They can pack in as many as they're allowed to pack in some of those store exclusives by throwing in
Mhm.
extra speeders and stuff like that.
Yep.
But this is the troop builder pack. I mean, for people that want clones, um, this is the pack, and maybe the next wave. But
Yeah.
they're
Agreed.
I don't yeah I don't think they can, uh, Decadent Dave. They
Who
have
thinks we'll
to.
get? What's that?
He said they could if they wanted to. I don't think they can legally do
Yeah.
that by their terms of their agreement.
Yeah, I think it's a
They
licensing issue
they
with
have
the
to have
ability
a
to.
vehicle. The item that they're selling is a vehicle, and the action figure is an accessory to the vehicle, and that wording is the one they've used over and over and over again, like
Yeah.
kind of a to a wink wink degree,
Yep.
and I think they're saying we can't release troop packs. We can only release a vehicle, and we can pack as many of these as either the budget will allow, or um yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know what the exact specifics are on the number of figures that can go with vehicles, but
Yep.
I think you're looking at the agreement, what Lucasfilm will um, sign off on, and the budget for those. And they can't put 30 of them in a thing and go way over budget. And, I think there's a lot to it. It would be nice. I think they've tried. The Grand Army had quite a few in there. But this is the way that they've figured out how to do them. And, it just comes at $5 a pop.
Yeah, and for sure there was a discussion that we had in an interview previously where there was and didn't explain the exact criteria for it, but there was a specific thing that was mentioned that we're only allowed to do so many figures with the vehicle. So like the standard AT-AT's got 5 figures with it, or micro figure accessories is what they're
Right.
called.
That's important.
And then the Endor pack, so it might be something that if it's an exclusive, it gives them a little more leeway, but the Endor one had 8 figures. So it does change some from series to series and item to item.
There's got to be some fluidity to it somehow, but I do think it's all it all goes back to either what can get approved, what's in the budget for that item, and what's in the agreement.
Yeah. And so Hasbro, here's a comment from Jonathan. Hasbro owns the figure pack licensing, so that's why Bandai has a lot of issues. Yeah, and I think all of the companies have an issue because of that.
And it's possible with the they've kind of shuttered. They've ended the Mission Fleet line, so Mission Fleet is no more. And now it looks like they're doing vehicles in that new Epic Heroes 4-inch line. It's kind of the budget 4-inch line that they have across all their brands, Marvel, Star Wars. So maybe it's possible now when they go back to the table to renegotiate that maybe there's room now to potentially add a little more wiggle room with that.
Yeah.
But honestly, there's other things. If they're going to be spending more money, I would rather them try to get play sets added or dioramas added before figure packs, because we have these. That's more important to me, would be getting play sets, hangers, and things in there that way. I would rather have those than a bunch of true packs of the figures when we have the scouts already.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with creatures as well. Creatures are not in their agreement either, so you can't do that. So let's go ahead and move on to a light armor class. So this is, I apologize if this picture is too small. I think it just depends on the device you're looking at it. But you've got your light armor class series, which is super exciting this week. Popped up, actually 2 days ago, popped up on Amazon to be able to get all the common vehicles. You got the TIE Fighter Armada. You got the whatever that is, the pirate ship,
pirate snub fighter with Vane.
Yep. And then you got the E-wing, and then you have your rare and your chase. And so, if we're looking at the rare vehicles, we'll come back to that. So here is your E-wing. So this is the Dark Forces E-wing. Is that right?
Dark Empire.
Dark Empire. Sorry, Dark Empire.
Yeah, Dark Forces is the PC game.
Yeah, which is exciting to see that they're going into the EU stuff.
Yeah,
they're kind of getting off of the main line, which is great to be able to do as a chase vehicle or a rare, just because it gives the opportunity to expand. And obviously, they did that with Vader's Interceptor as well. And the Shadow V-Wing, those are also kind of like expansions off of the typical line that you would have, which is pretty cool to see.
I feel like this is a nice little throwback to the action fleet as well.
Absolutely. And there's a different droid with this one as well. This one looks kind of like an R4 type of a droid that has the cone head versus your standard R2 or Astromech, and then the R5, which we're also getting another R5, which is pretty cool to see.
Love it. Love it. Give me
and
all
then
the droids.
You've got, so everyone's calling this the Rise of Skywalker. This is actually the Ralph McQuarrie concept A-Wing design is what that really is. So then it was put into the movie. And so there you can see a picture of it there on the right side. So this is your 1 of 5,000.
Yeah, I did a deep dive on this because I was so confused by it. So it it shows up in Rebels with almost the same look.
Yep.
It is originally the Macquarie design for Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
They used it in Rebels, and then Rise of Skywalker. This image here is from the visual dictionary, or the visual guide.
Gotcha.
In the movie, it is a like blink and you'll miss it. It flies by the camera.
Nice.
So it is in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
But it is literally blink and you'll miss it. And then this image is from the visual guide.
Nice.
But it looks
Nice.
great. I love it. I mean, it
It
is
does.
really, really cool.
Agreed.
Um,
Yeah, it would be great if we could get the
does
Return of
this
the
just say
Jedi.
Does this say Star Wars on it? I actually haven't even looked at that. I haven't zoomed in enough to see what media. I
I
love
can't
that we
see
have
it on
the
there.
media on it now.
Yeah.
That's a great addition. I think. Can you tell what it says? Is it just Star Wars, or is there something written
Um,
under that?
Let me see here. Got the picture here. Resistance A-Wing is what it says.
I mean, see where it says Star Wars for the media, where it
Where are you
comes from, above the number.
oh, gotcha. Yeah,
Is
yeah,
there
yeah.
anything written below that Star Wars?
The Rise of Skywalker is what it says.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, there you go. It
Yep.
looks
So
great.
Rise of Skywalker, which is pretty cool.
Can't wait to
So,
get
and
one
again,
through Vault.
yeah, exactly. You're gonna find that involved for sure.
Yep.
So the again the light armor class bundles came out a couple days ago. Those popped up, and the links got pushed out there. So if you didn't find the links, you could either check out Cole's page or my page. You can
They
also,
were up for a while.
yeah, they were. And then check out our storefronts. They're going to be in there. You can find the links to them. They're not active currently. I think all of them are sold out, but I would imagine they'll pop back up here sometime soon.
I think the two that are gone are the E-wing and I believe the pirate snub fighter eventually sold out. I
Yep.
think the Armada tie is still in there, and the Fang fighter and Bo's Gauntlet Armada edition are still up as well, I think.
Yeah, you know, I forgot to pull in that picture of the Armada TIE fighter, but the Armada TIE fighter does look like it's a little bit bigger.
So I did a little digging today before the live stream.
Yep.
I'm not sure anymore that is different. I think the image with the two TIE fighters is potentially a mistake.
Interesting.
All
right.
Which is
find out.
unfortunate. Which is unfortunate because it's very, very, very easy to make the assumption, oh, they're using the larger interceptor.
Welcome.
What do you want to call that? Fuselage or cockpit. The body of the interceptor is larger, and it looks exactly like they're showing you, here's the original, here's the larger one.
Right.
Under it. What I heard today is that may not be the case, and it was a mistake in the photos.
Interesting.
Yeah. So for
Bernie, just gotta say really quick, thanks for tuning in and watching. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, keep going.
For people that are stockpiling them to replace their old ones, I might hold off for now until we get some some better confirmation on that. I think it might be the exact same thing, but with a better cog on the helmet.
All right. Well, we'll see. I only got one of them, so it's going to be a one and done for me.
I did too. And if for some reason the communication's a little mixed up and it is a new body, then I go back and order some more. But if it's unchanged, I'll probably get just the one.
Oh my gosh, we have to pause for a second.
Jorge
Ramirez is on.
Wow.
What is up, my friend? It has been a long time since I've seen you pop up. I hope all is well and your family is good and everything is going good down there in Chile. Thanks for tuning in.
An OG.
An OG for sure. He's the one that got the Microfleet page started.
And one of the only Facebook users at all in chat tonight.
Yeah, we got a few in here, but Yep. Thanks for tuning in. So as we keep moving along, we've got our Starfighter class. So Starfighter
Do,
class we
do,
talked about.
to jump back real quick, do you
Yeah,
prefer the blue or the red E-wing?
blue,
Just aesthetically, I do too.
blue.
Something about
Yeah,
the blue. Even with my love for the action fleet, there's something about the blue I like.
yeah,
Um,
I would agree.
I enjoy.
Yeah, I think the red one will be nice. Again, I'll just get one of them and be done. One to keep
Yep.
in the package and one to take out. But
Are you still buying multiples of these, or do you go into this now buying these and pre-orders and things like that, thinking, well, I'm gonna have a vault set down the road, so there's no,
certainly that's changed now. That my concern was really what was going to happen with Series 4 light armor. I think that was
right?
going to be the
Same.
biggest one.
I'm sure we'll touch on
So
that here in a minute, but
yeah, and that's where I would say, like, yes, at this point,
yeah.
one is good. If I can grab two, that's great. With them double packing the chases and rares for the Starfighter,
Hmm.
certainly I'll grab them. But once I get the two, I'm probably done at that point. Versus trying to
Yeah.
find some to be able to trade them and all of that, it just really doesn't make sense anymore. I think the trading component with the vault sets just doesn't make any sense. You
Vault's
know,
been a bit of a game changer, especially now.
yeah,
We'll
absolutely.
see how long it holds up, but
I know.
uh,
Let's hope it does. Let's
yeah.
hope it does for sure. So with Series 6, the Starfighter class is out in targets. We are running into some situations with stocking there. So you've got your Armada Gauntlet, you've got the Phantom, the Fang Fighter. Fang Fighter is up on Amazon, or was at least. It could still be up there. And then you got Hera's X-Wing and the Kenner X-Wing. So again, I'd say the biggest problem that you run into, if anybody is listening to this and you go out and you buy that, make sure that you go to customer service at checkout or tell the person at checkout what the DPCI is. I had it
Still
on
not
here.
corrected they still have not corrected the issue, which is unfortunate at
Yeah,
Target.
it is
I think it's a Target
zero.
thing.
I'm going to put it into the comments here for anybody to be able to grab. I would definitely make sure that you're doing this, because if you're not, they will likely not be restocking your target. So it's 087168699. That is the one to use if you're going to be going through and getting any of that. And the main purpose of that is the DPCI that they're using for Starfighter class. They've used that now for all of the series up to this point. If you're buying it and it's at checkout, you're getting through checkout without using that, then it's the restocking system. Their inventory is still going to show that they have a certain
Yeah.
amount. And typically, the replenishment starts when they get less than 50%. So you've got to have 3 of the 4 sold for that to then go ahead and auto renew and say, we're going to get more. And so you can always check with whoever's there and just ask them, show them the DPCI or tell them the DPCI number and see if they can look up, see if there's anything in the back. If they're showing that there are multiple in stock and there's nothing on the shelves, more than likely somebody got them through the system without correcting that. I'm shocked at this point, Cole, that both you and I have reached out to the company to say, hey, here is a problem. Like, this is a significant problem, and it still hasn't been fixed. So
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of
think the
crazy.
problem is that this is on the Target side. So there's very little I think that they can do right now.
Gotcha.
It's a Target system issue, and I think we've seen this with maybe one of the more recent waves of Vintage Collection.
Oh, really? No kidding.
The Vintage Collection is going to a new. They're actually going to a new DPCI assortment.
Mhm.
So they're doing a lot of things right now with their system and assortments and things like that, and they've got some large resets coming, or are
Mhm.
already doing some large resets. So I think there's a lot of issues with their system right now, and it's just unfortunate that they are letting this issue hang out this long. But I do think if somebody somewhere that monitors this kind of stuff notices a huge issue with it, something will be red flagged and they'll notice like, hey, sales have totally dropped off of this
Mm,
item. What's going on? They'll look into it, realize, oh, it's not in the system. So hopefully at some point, maybe it's going to take them getting another big order in, another huge allotment
yeah.
for them to realize something's up. But yeah, I wish things like that moved faster because it's,
I would
I've
agree.
known a couple people that have found uh, rares or chases this wave and were not able to check out. They took them from them,
Oh,
and
bummer.
that's got to be that's the worst feeling in the world to
Yeah.
actually to finally find one and it's a brand new one and to
Hmm.
have a manager snatch it from you with no street date or anything like that just because of some kind of error on their part. That's super unfortunate. That's just a bad customer experience all around.
Yes, that does stink. Yep, totally agree. Although I am hopeful that Walmart's will start to get them here within the next week or two. And so we should start to see some Starfighter class pop up. Don't hold me to that date at all because who knows what's going on at Walmart. But I did actually see an ATTE in a Walmart, which was pretty
You
interesting.
personally saw one.
I personally saw an ATTE in a
Very
Walmart.
cool.
Yeah, I don't know if there was like a yeah, there was like a little UPC ticket there too, which
Nice.
is interesting. So, and then the next thing, as we keep moving along with our collector's guide here, which is fascinating, is we get this. So here is the ATTE. You've got the Sith Infiltrator up there, and then I feel like this was such a big whiff. This was such an easy one to be able to showcase at San Diego Comic Con, and it wasn't. Is all of a sudden we get this Marauder.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, so the Marauder is there was something mentioned a long time ago in an interview where the person we were interviewing said, "Wouldn't it be cool if you got the Marauder with the figures that had the new updated deco from season two?" And I was like, okay, yeah, that would be kind of cool. So I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to get some figures with updated deco here for this. We don't have any idea what's going to happen with this Marauder, whether or not it'll look any different or not. But
I do.
oh, you do?
I do.
Okay,
It is Hunter and Wrecker,
okay,
and there should be battle damage on the vehicle.
all right, cool. Well, there we go.
Battle damage deco, and the what do they call it? The mercenary armor or whatever. Their
Okay,
mercenary look of Hunter and Wrecker. So unfortunately, Crosshair fans are still out in the cold.
yeah. Well, we do have with that coming. I would say there is probably a very high chance that you end up getting those in the scout class at some point in future waves.
Yeah,
I would say I would be shocked if they didn't.
it'd be a big Hasbro move to release the two and then never complete the team.
Hmm. Yep.
And it. I don't know. We do not know yet if it's going to be a store exclusive. It kind of seems like the thing that would be a
Mhm.
store exclusive,
Right.
but Walmart. Well,
Mhm.
we don't know if the T6 is exclusive to Walmart. It may not be because it's in other people's systems.
Yeah.
But you'd think with Target, they're pretty stocked up on exclusives for this year, and they're sitting
Yes.
on a lot of them.
Yes, they are.
So so I don't know where this would go as an exclusive, but I
Yeah.
the first release was really weird, with it being revealed so early.
Mm.
It finally showed up at Macy's for a fortune, and then we
Oh, it
waited
wasn't that bad.
forever,
Yeah.
and then they started to trickle into Targets, and they got clearanced really fast.
Very fast.
Um,
Yeah. Within
whatever time of
weeks.
year it hit, those things got clearanced, yeah, within weeks, and then they were gone. So
Yep.
even though a lot of people picked them up at a discount, there are a lot of new people to the line that didn't have access to that they're back up over asking price again. So there's a lot of Bad Batch fans. It's kind of crazy. There's a lot of like diehard Bad Batch fans. So this is one of those, where it's not super exciting to me as someone who owns the first one, and I'm not super high on the show. I thought it was fine. I'm not super excited by this, but there's an audience out there that will be very, very happy to have this. Even though for a lot of people that got the first one, it may not be just a massively exciting re-release.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, hopefully they don't do like a full massive run. But yeah.
Yeah, DC Metro must have seen the tweet on Twitter. It got like, I don't know, 15 or 20 like all cap quote tweets, like 20 something all caps quote tweets on it for people that are apparently massive. Bad Batch Twitter is rabid apparently.
Nice.
And they love all caps.
So then we got the T6 Walmart Collector Con. This came up just last week. And we still don't have a picture of the T6, but
a little bit of confusion I've seen online. The picture I used here is the model that was used in the show. Yes. Apparently some people thought it was kind of clear because it looks amazing. But, this is the model that was used in the show. There are no images anywhere for this actual product.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully we do get some pictures here at some point soon where we'll get a chance to see what we actually got.
If only they had like an event or something like that where it would have been pretty easy to show off some pictures of them.
Yeah. So great comment here. Hang with us here for a little while longer and we'll talk about this. Although I will say that the first few series were very heavy in the Cartoon Network Clone Wars. So you got almost all of the vehicles minus the Azure Angel, the V-19, which is coming, and the Geonosian Starfighter. But pretty much everything else has been done. And then you get like the banker bots on the their speeders. But
and even the battle droids are from the Clone Wars. They're the Micro Series colored battle droids that you see a lot. Those orange ones.
Those orange ones, and then the AAT tank as well. That coloring is also the same. It's from that show.
I would say nobody has shown love to that Micro Series more than Jazzwares.
Yeah.
In the last, when did that come out? 2003?
Oh yeah, yep.
Something like that. I would say in the last 15 years, no one showed them as much love as Jazzwares have.
Yeah, totally agree. So then the other thing we got on the collector guide here, Series 6, is we have our Ghost. So we got the Ghost and then the Secret Mission. Secret Mission is still available on Amazon to be purchased and pre-order. It looks like the ship date is October, correct? Still October?
Still October.
Yep. So
I'm saying prayers every night that thing moves up.
Yeah, I really hope so. I can't wait to see what this extra Y-wing is. And
I just want the stand.
Awesome.
I just want the stand.
Yeah, the stand.
And down here in this tiny text that nobody can read, they did confirm that it's Gold 3 and named the pilot, I believe.
Okay, nice. Cool. Yeah, the Ghost, man, it is such an awesome, I would say by far my favorite of the vehicles that have come out so far. I think it's just so well done. If there's only one nitpicky thing that I would have, it's just the bottom that I talked about in my review is if they had elongated the bottom and made it just a little bit deeper, then it can sit flat on the ground, which would have been really cool. Here we go. Mark Martinez, thanks for tuning in. Your pictures of the Ghost, and really, I would say all of the pictures that you've done are amazing. Thank you for posting those on the pages for sure. Show those off. Those are like the ones that when you're sitting there and you're thinking, man, this vehicle could look really cool. and you see it on like the white background. You're like, all right, that looks okay. Then you see a picture that Mark took of it. You're like, wow, I got to have that now. That thing looks awesome. So
Yeah, it
thanks for all
sells
your
the
hard work.
product in a totally different way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Um,
Tyson is gold 3 apparently.
Tyson, nice. So that is all we've got for Series 6. So you want to chat Series 4 light armor really quick? And then we'll get to San Diego Comic Con?
Vault, yeah, hit
Yeah, Vault.
Vault and then
Yeah,
sure.
so the Vault set, I will have to say, I have never been so anxious for something like this. I've been anxious a lot in my life for like very high pressure events that I've been involved in, but never for something like this. And I mean, gosh, I was telling Cole as we were leading up to this, I was texting him like, man, I feel like I'm going to throw up here, just waiting for this thing to come up. And so I think we all had anticipated this thing was going to sell out in like seconds, which was shocking.
Mostly due to the Series 3 light armor debacle.
Right. Yeah. So it seems like Jazzers did a great job of fixing whatever problems they had there. I think the throttling of the inventory was the biggest problem that they had with Series 3. I think had they not done that, it probably would have lasted a little bit longer, because everybody could get it to their cart, but they couldn't check out. And so, yeah, opening it up 5 minutes early, I was sitting there refreshing, get to 5 minutes, and all of a sudden it popped up. And if you don't have Shop Pay set up on your phone, I would highly recommend doing it. I mean, the checkout was like instant. I mean, it was added to the cart. Yep, add it to the cart and check out, and you're done. I mean, it took literally less than 5 seconds to do it.
It's instant. Yeah. The only thing you have to do if it's over a certain amount, you just have to toggle. Do you want to pay for it now or do a payment plan?
Yeah.
That's really all. And I did notice this time, we had this issue a couple months ago. This time, the Vault website, I did not have an issue with having to go back and select free shipping once I got over that threshold.
Oh, yeah.
You remember a couple months ago, there was an issue where it was defaulting to paid shipping, which is
Gotcha.
kind of a bummer. You had to go back and manually select free shipping.
Mm-hmm.
But that was sorted out this time. I was shocked. I was shocked. I mean, I don't know.
It was up for an hour.
My guess is whoever was buying up, I think there was a community of scalpers.
Yeah.
And somebody got the word out, and they got the word and they said, hey, you need to jump on these things as soon as they're out. They're selling for X amount of dollars on eBay. And you had a whole handful of scalpers that jumped in and got in on that light armor. And then they barely made any money after the fact on eBay. Yep. They're not going to mess with it again. Yep. So that seemed to have a pretty massive effect on this one.
I would agree.
Kudos to Jazzwares. It's a flawless experience this time. So I feel like they're doing their part. I mean, the site stayed up, no issues with it taking too long. It went up early, but I think that was maybe just in anticipation of them having a lot of traffic. Mm-hmm. They probably put it up a little early. I didn't know how anxious I was until I refreshed once and saw the Series 4 Scout class from last month. And in my mind, I saw this Series 4 and I thought, oh, it's already up. It's already gone up. It's gone up 10 minutes early. And I like almost had a heart attack. Like my nice. Like I could feel my heart pumping like in my temples. It got my heart beating so fast, and I was like, "Oh, I'm like really amped about this thing." Apparently, so the website experience flawless. The quality control of the actual item has been a little more rough this time around. Yeah,
for sure. It's kind of a shame
for a premium item that people are paying more than MSRP on these.
Right.
It's kind of a bummer to see like more than a few people have various issues with them this time around.
Yeah, and it's on the wrong item too. So it's like if it's on the common vehicles, I think everybody doesn't really care. But when
Yeah.
you're looking at the limited items and from them not having figures, although I did hear that there was somebody that didn't get figures and reached out and they are sending figures, which I'm
Yeah, that's
surprised that
great.
they have the extra figures around to do. But yeah, there's some of them are not including the land speeder, which is one of the major reasons we're buying it. Um, so hopefully, I haven't heard a whole lot of that yet. I think everybody is obviously getting them now. And so it would be interesting to hear if you have a problem. It would be awesome if you could hop over on our page or you could comment that you did get a resolution. Um, so that would be great to hear. But yes, I've heard about the missing engine, Danny. There's there's a bunch of issues. The cards in one of the boxes. Did you see all the cards in one of the box all said Luke's land
Yeah.
speeder?
Yeah, that's
Which
awesome.
is kind of a cool. I wouldn't mind having that. It doesn't really make a difference to
I'm
me,
not
but
worried about the cards. I had one of mine, my Series 3 Starfighters.
oh yeah, that's right. It had
My
the wrong
my
back on it.
yeah, my Chase Poe had the Grievous card back,
Yeah,
which was kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, missing engines on a couple people's, missing
mm,
figures on a couple people's, several people getting 2 A-wings and
right.
no land speeder, which is
That's a huge
crazy.
problem. Right.
Yeah, I don't, I assume it's on whoever is packing these at the factory, but
Yep.
it would be nice if Jazzwares could pay him a little visit and
Say,
maybe
come on, guys.
crack the whip on these, at least the vault sets when they're getting packed.
Absolutely.
Um,
And this is the first one where we've had any significant issues. The other ones,
More
I don't think we ran.
widespread, yeah.
Yeah, we ran into any big issues. But yeah, so that's good. I'm excited to see Starfighter class here come out next month, which would be nice. So
For
that'll
what
have
it's
your
worth, mine were fine.
yeah. Thanks, Cole. Appreciate that.
I just
Glad to
mean,
know that yours are good.
and you see all the people that have issues posting about it, but
Yeah.
for every one of those, I'm sure there's 150 people that had no issue.
Yep. Agreed. And then so we got Starfighter class coming out probably at the end of this month, which will have Biggs in it. It'll have a Biggs and Wedge, and then you also get your bomber and your Y wing. And what else?
Which for a lot of people, especially newer people to the line or people that were pretty casual, the Y wings dried up fairly
Oh, the
fast and is
N1.
still in demand.
Yeah.
The N1 was a great ship. The TIE Bomber never hit retail shelves and sold out and still sells for, I don't know what, $50 or more on
Mhm.
eBay. So the bomber is essentially rare at this point.
Yeah.
And people are super into the Wedge and Biggs.
Yeah.
Biggs
Biggs for
never
sure.
hit US retail shelves ever.
No, never.
So it's going to be a pretty great set for a lot of people too.
Agreed. Yeah,
I
hopefully
only
we have
need
the
Biggs,
same type
but
of experience as we had here for the light armor class. So fingers crossed.
yeah, it's a little tougher with these Starfighter ones at $100 price point when you only need one. You're
Right.
essentially paying $100 for the chase.
Yeah. There's going to be a
That's rough.
lot of Y wings and bombers and N1s sold on the
Yeah,
secondary
yeah.
market.
I'll probably even dump the Wedge maybe to help
Agreed.
try to mitigate some of that cost just for Biggs.
Yep. I will be doing the same. I will definitely be doing the same. So then we've got San Diego Comic Con. So there was quite a bit going on at San Diego Comic Con. I would say the biggest thing, obviously, which we'll just showcase here, was the exclusive. And this is the perfect exclusive to have.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
this is super unique. It's not something that you really are going to play with at all. This is likely going to be just something that sits on the shelf. And I think this is great also from the perspective of not a ton of people are going to want this. So
It's
limiting
not
it to a running
essential to a collection,
for sure. Running it
which
at 100, 500 or whatever they did, I think is pretty good.
that's what makes a great convention exclusive to me, especially if you're going to do them
Mhm.
with this low of a run. It
Yeah,
should not be essential to a collection to have it, and
they
I
like a
don't
cool
think this is.
stuff.
But
Yeah,
it looks
and
amazing. Shout out to Tim
yep. So
for
Tim with Jazzwares was the
the
one that came up
idea.
with the idea.
Max for helping push it along. The packaging team.
Yeah,
Will. It's really cool.
it is
They've
very
had a
cool.
real strong like black light thing going on the last year or two. They had the
Oh yeah.
neon warthog last year, and then I saw at their display a lot of they had the kind of the same thing going on with some of the squishmallows. Um,
Nice.
so they're really loving the black light stuff over at Jazzwares right now.
Yeah. Um, and luckily Scott has taken it out of the box, so we get an opportunity to see what it looks like to unbox it. Unfortunately, it looks like if you wanted to take these things out of the box, you have to disassemble the whole thing. So it's
Oof.
not quite one of those things where you can kind of open it up and take them out and put them back in. It's kind of like disassemble the whole thing, then you kind of put it back together and tape it up. So
Hey Scott,
um,
if you're still in here, let us know what the battery situation looks like. Is it like a watch battery, essentially? That I think a lot of people are curious. What the deal is with that? If you can replace the battery,
yeah.
hopefully you can get in there easily and somehow um, replace that battery. I'd love to have
And
one
I
somewhere
forgot
back here
to add in the picture of the display to the slideshow.
from
But
the booth.
yeah, the display looked really cool. It had the huge arcade thing right in the middle. And then it's got all of the items on the right and the left side, and it had the Series 6. Well, I don't know what happened. Maybe I forgot to pull all of the pictures out, but I missed out on also the Series 6 light armor class, which they showed off in the booth. I think there were some questions when they showed that off, the Series 6 light armor vault set. What happened to Series 5? Series 5 is still coming. I think they're just showcasing that.
Yeah, I think because it's the
Yes,
current
they
thing
are early bookshelves.
hitting shelves now. And I think it gives you like a little. It's like, okay, we're still getting these sets, down the road.
Gotcha. Didn't want to mess with the battery because it was hot glued in it.
Okay,
Okay,
well, I
so
hope it's somehow
one
replaceable.
and done.
That would be, yeah, man, that would be
Once the
a
battery
little bit
runs
of a
out,
bummer.
go get a new blacklight.
Wow, yeah, that'd be a bummer if it's not easily accessible.
Yeah, agreed. And then the other thing with San Diego Comic Con, we just didn't get much. Oh man, I don't have the V19 in here either.
Oh man,
What happened to my all my pictures that you sent over?
so
Um,
while you look at
Let me
that,
see if I can get them while you're chatting here. I'm
the
gonna see if I can get
I don't know at what point this happened, but on either side of the large full scale arcade, I'm sure most of you have seen the pictures. They had, they had two cases on either side of the Series 6 product for the most part. One little corner, at least on preview night and maybe the first day, they had the V19 Vault set displayed. They took that out of the display at some point.
Oh, they did.
Um, yeah, so that only lasted, I think, a day or so.
Hmm.
Um, Apparently, something with the packaging was not correct.
Gotcha.
So they took that down. They also may have taken it down because it was spoilers, going to be the only thing they showed at the panel. So maybe they
Mm,
took it down for some kind of
nice.
surprise, I guess.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
All right, I'm I'm getting these up there. Keep going, Cole.
The only reason the pictures of that product are important is because when you fast forward and get to the panel, there's some major confusion right now with these vault sets. During the panel, they confirmed the Series 6 lineup, which we'd all pretty much seen, but I guess maybe for people that aren't totally plugged in or not diehards, they confirmed or revealed Series 6 to maybe the more casual people. And then the only thing on top of that we got reveal-wise was the 2 ships we saw well over a year ago, 15 months ago maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
The V-19 and Kylo's TIE silencer are going to have a first-to-market vault release. And I think the idea was, I don't know if this is still the case. I think the idea is that these would have a little more premium deco to them.
Okay.
It's possible that got scratched and it's now just straight first to market exclusive and that's it. But these will be the first place to get them, whether these are in Series 7 or Series 8. I can't really remember, but they will have a number of these on Vault beforehand. And the weird thing was, so the people there that were doing the Micro Galaxy portion was Gi-hoon, one of the lead designers, who's amazing. He's done a lot of the Assault class that you've seen. Been the lead designer on a lot of the AT-AT and Ghost and a lot of that. He's incredible. So he gave kind of the details on this, and then the other guy, I believe his name is Jordan, and he's a brand director at Jazzwares, and essentially, I believe his role is he's the director that's over. He manages the brand managers, essentially, I think is kind of the deal. So he's over Star Wars, AEW, maybe one of the other lines. So he didn't seem to know quite as much of the nitty gritty of what was going on and kind of deferred to Gi-hoon for some of the specifics. But ultimately, the only thing for fans that are connected and kind of up to date on the news, those vault sets were the only thing that were new. And we saw those ships, 15 months ago. So nothing was necessarily new. And then when you get to the numbering of that, in the panel, he said there would be 1,000 of each, and the packaging said 3,000 of each. And I've tried to reach out to several people, and they cannot confirm that either. So
the number.
Right. Somewhere in their intercommunication packaging, whoever makes that decision, whatever's going on, they need a final sign off, I guess, on whether it's 1,000 or 3,000. I'm assuming that it's 3,000 because that's what that's what got approved for packaging, obviously, because they had that there and it said 3,000. My gut is the guy who's managing several different brands just misspoke or forgot and said 1,000. And I don't even think Vault has had anything that was 1,000, right? I think 1,500 is kind of been the number we've seen on some of these items.
The lowest number.
It seems to be 1,500, 3,000, and 5,000, right? For a lot of these.
Yeah.
My gut is we'll be getting 3,000, but people on the team don't know for sure either. So hopefully there's some clarification on that soon. And I hope it's 3,000.
But if it's going to be a first to market thing and we're going to get this at some other point, it does make sense for them to make it slightly more exclusive.
and
Um,
or we just need more premium deco or something on.
the
You're getting the
packaging
you're
is
getting the
different.
fancy packaging. It
Yeah.
looks exactly like the storyboard packaging.
Yep. Correct.
So that's cool, but
Yeah.
I feel like I need a little something else. I really hope that there's some kind of deco difference or something to make it stand out a little bit more.
Agreed. Yeah, I certainly think if it's going to be, because this one is not going to be a super sought after um, item as the V19. I mean, some of the diehard fans, I mean, I would love to have a fleet of these things. They're so cool. Um, but I think you're going to have, really the diehard people that are going to want to get this. Otherwise, it's not really going to sell very well. It's similar to likely the V-wing, I would imagine. And this will be your Starfighter class too, so this is going to be a little bit more expensive to
Yeah.
get.
My guess is these could be as high as $40.
Yeah. Yep. And then when you're looking at the silencer, so this actually looks really cool and it looks huge. I mean, I don't know how they could fit that based on if that's even close to the scale with the figure right there next to it. I
Yeah.
don't see how they can fit that in a Starfighter package without taking the wings off of it. You'd have to like
Wouldn't be the
angle the
first time.
wings. And it'd be similar to which we're not getting right now, a tie defender. But I did print a tie defender, 3D printed one that would be about the size that I would imagine it to be. And you definitely would have to take one of the wings off of it to be able to fit it inside the box. It would not fit in like in
Yeah.
its normal thing. So, but yeah, $40. I don't know that I would pay $40 for it either. I'd probably just wait.
My guess is it's going to be a little bit like the V-wing.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I would totally agree.
Especially if they're double packed, because it's a little bit of a fleet builder.
Sure.
And if they're double packed in the case, I could see those potentially sitting just a little bit. I know original trilogy fans don't care about it. Sequel trilogy fans don't care about it.
Right.
I think it's for general Star Wars diehards and Clone Wars fans.
Yeah, it is actually in the sequel trilogy. It's in
the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, yeah. They're flying in the same battle where Plo Koon dies.
In the sequels?
Oh no, sorry, not the sequel trilogy. Sorry, the
prequels. Yeah,
prequels. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
The 1, 2, 3 ones, man.
They're in there. They're in there briefly. Yeah.
Yeah. But those are the only really big things that we got from San Diego Comic-Con was that. And
yeah, man, my takeaway is it's a bummer for sure. To me, watching the whole panel and really looking at the whole booth in general, I mean, Squishmallows is its own massive thing. It seems like the cash cow for them right now. It is the cash cow right now. I mean, it's a massive
Absolutely.
cultural thing. They in general love to push AEW really hard. And they were also launching the new anime line of figures at Comic-Con. This was their big launch for that wave one of that new anime line. So to me, it seemed like, they just gave Star Wars 3 minutes so that they could get to AEW. They had tons of they had a couple stars show up. What's her name was there from Mando. The wrestler.
Oh,
Mercedes.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
she
cool.
was there. So they had a lot going on that wasn't Star Wars related, and it seemed like they're really pushing that. I kind of get that. But for it to be Comic-Con, that was a pretty
low-key version of it.
Especially when it seems like with all these things that are popping up and stuff in retailer systems and even things in the collector's guide, man, there was a lot of stuff that would have been super, super, super easy for them to, without even touching Series 7.
Right.
And I do believe we will see Series 7 pretty soon.
Series 7, you're talking about all of Series 7?
I do believe that we will probably see Series 7
Before Christmas.
revealed somehow.
Okay.
I do think that is coming.
Nice.
But man, it, as a Micro Galaxy fan, it was pretty big letdown.
Yeah. Well, after that,
did you feel any different to that?
no, I'd agree.
Yeah. What would you rate the MGS experience at Comic-Con this year, if you had to grade it?
Scale of 1 to 10? I would say
letter
4.
grade, whatever.
4.
Yeah.
Out of 10. So whatever that is, D.
Yeah, I'd agree. And really, that's only on the merits of the
yeah, we didn't see anything new.
The exclusive arcade thing.
Right. Yeah.
So
but
there's more coming. I've been assured time and time again that they are hard at work on a lot of awesome stuff. I don't think there's any reason to worry. I just think for whatever reason, this was not a priority in their Comic-Con plans this year, unfortunately.
Well, we got one more thing to break here, which was popped up here. I think DC Metro was the one that spilled the beans on this and found Pod Racer Battle Pack. That's
where I saw it. Yeah,
super exciting because previously we had gotten Sebulba and Anakin. There was some discussion about again an interview that we did, like, oh, wouldn't it be really cool to have this pod racer or that pod racer? I'm like, yeah, there's no way that they're going to do that many, but it sure seems like Target with this exclusive for episode 1. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what this is going to look like or who's going to be involved in it. I hope that it's 3 unique vehicles. I'm thinking it's got to be 3, right?
For that, so you're looking at $10 a pop,
right? Because the
or $11 a pop, so $23 for,
right.
And really, Walmart's been doing a weird thing where I feel like they add a couple dollars onto MSRP.
Mm-hmm.
So roughly $20 is the idea for that set, even though they're charging $22.99 or whatever it is. They're in that $20 price range. So essentially $10-11 each.
Yes.
So with this one, you would assume you're getting 3.
Yeah.
3 sets.
Thank you for posting that.
My only hesitancy is I can't imagine a set like this selling super well without Anakin.
Right.
Battle
damage Anakin pod racer.
Dave kind of brings it up there. My guess is there's got to be some kind of, whether it's just a redeco or a slightly different battle damage something of Anakin's. I feel like they've got to have Anakin in there to sell.
Yeah.
If you put 3, not even Sebulba, if the most well-known pod racer in this set is Ben Quadinaros, Kevin, who's going to buy that? That's not watching this stream right now.
That's exactly right.
The people watching this stream are the people that are going to buy that. Your average, Karen walking through the store with their 5-year-old,
mm-hmm.
No one's going to buy that. So I'm really, 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 I would love it to be 3 because that's great for the people who bought the other set.
Yeah.
Financially, that seems like a horrible decision. So my guess is it's got to have something in there that's very popular to have.
The episode 1 stuff has not done well at Targets, which is a shame because Target already pitched the light armor class. They got rid of that. Then now they get all these exclusives. And what do you see hanging out in Targets right now? The Bongo and the N1s. there's one target that's got 16 N1s in the back.
Yeah, well, I think it's relative. It's hard to know. They could be selling well,
Hmm.
but Target historically has just way over ordered.
Yeah.
So it's hard to know if they're. My guess is they're selling okay, but Target is just ordering way too many of these things.
Mm.
For whatever reason, I don't know what it
Yeah.
is. The N1 is awesome. It's great. The bongo is wild that they made that,
Yeah. Yeah, they made
but
it so big too, which is pretty cool.
it's pretty niche.
Yeah.
So
So the
we'll
other piece of
see.
news we got here is Series 7 Scout class. I can't remember who found this, but somebody found this, and man, this
Wait,
is
well,
a
yeah.
beast.
So there's a UK site that some people have been kind of hanging out on watching because they've been posting some stuff.
Hmm.
That's actually where we got the first promo images for uh, the Series 6 Scout class. This came from there.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they've kind of been basically screwing Jazzwares by posting every item as they get it in their system.
Nice. Yeah, so we were talking about this just before we signed on what do we think could be the chase and the rare. I mean, I feel like you gotta have Dirge has gotta be one of the chases or rares.
So
It's gotta
yeah,
be.
we'll go through them real quick. You've got Kelnaka and a speeder from Acolyte.
Yep.
You've got Rex with the bark and sidecar.
Yep.
Now, man, if this is the same Rex again, uh, um,
Hmm.
we got him. We've had him what, twice now? This would be the third time, right?
Yep.
So
Yes, this would be the third Rex for sure.
I'm, well, we'll talk about that in a second. You get Sabine on her speeder, which I assume is from Ahsoka,
Yep.
and it makes sense because they've already made Sabines for the T6 shuttle, so they're
Yep.
just repacking the Sabine from the T6 shuttle. It would be
Hmm.
awesome if one had a helmet on and one did not have a helmet on,
That would be pretty
but
cool.
or if she had she was wearing kind of like a safety helmet, right, on that
Yeah.
speeder. It would be really cool if it was a different head. Um,
Yep.
I, who knows if they do that tooling. And then we're getting two more clone variants with the lieutenant and the commander. So we're getting blue and yellow. So in two waves, we'll have green, red, blue, and yellow clones. So clone people should be super happy. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that begs the question. Going back through this now, um, which one is the rare and chase? Because with this current series, it's the clones. But
Hmm.
would they actually put Dirge as a common speeder?
Right. I mean, so when you look at one of the discussions that they had had a while back was this idea that they weren't going to do um, unique molds as the chases or rares. Definitely in Starfighter and Light Armor class, which they have been holding to that since Series 3, where they released Grievous, and there was a big outcrying. Ever since then, it's been that. With the Scout class, it hasn't quite been that, right? I mean, we had Aura Singh in the last series in 5. You got Aura Singh and who else? And then the Scout, you get Boba Fett, and then you have the Shadow Scout in
Named
Series 5,
characters, yeah. It
which makes
seemed like they
sense.
had shifted to named characters. It totally makes sense. I mean, it could
Right.
be desired characters like Ray or Anakin, that they showed off last year.
Yeah.
But I don't know that a named character needs to be packed in there more times than all of these troops that people are wanting to troop build.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. And I
So
mean, in that case, that's where I would say, like,
it's tough to
likely
say. I think it's
Dirge.
probably the clones again. If I had to guess, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the clones again.
Gosh, I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Based on the order that they have that listed there, it certainly does seem like that. Those are the last two. That would really be a shame because it would be nice to have some clones that are different colors. Or, I mean, God forbid we get a series, a phase 2 clone at some point, which I know that they had designs for that.
That's what I was going to say. Is it possible that this Rex is the first appearance of a phase 2 Rex?
That would make it make more sense. That would definitely make it more sense. Although you're getting the Bark Speeder with the sidecar, which is really the new piece, which it does seem to be that it doesn't seem to be as common that you're getting a new vehicle and a new figure simultaneously.
Right.
You know, there are some, but not as often as what you would think.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's phase 2. My brain's telling me it's not. It's going to be phase 1 again. But
Yep.
It really does feel like we've kind of they've milked the clones with this series 7. I think we've milked it about as far as you've got about as much mileage out of the clones as you can get, I
Yeah,
think,
absolutely.
especially with them repacking so many. So, series 8,
It's time to move on.
it's time for phase 2, and we're going to rebuy all the same clones in phase 2 armor. All the same ARC troopers, Rex. They're all going to be in phase 2 now.
Yep. So yeah, any idea why Series 6 why only Series 6 has 6? I think it is just a function of trying to fill out the ATTE. This series is kind of
budget.
It's supposed to be, I think, budget for sure, and then also the companion to the ATTE is the other piece of it that is the reason why we only have that many. Although it is interesting to see, I think the one thing I was probably the most disappointed with them going to 6 is that they're still doing the 1 in 5,000 instead of just doing both of those
2 rares
as 1 in 15,000. I mean, that just seems like such a silly idea. Why not just have them all available? But whatever.
Yeah.
But yes, the budget definitely with the ATT is amazing. It is amazing.
Yeah, I think that's dead on, and that's why it's fortunate that they could do a troop builder pack that supports the ATTE and kind of work. They're playing with the budget with those repacks.
Right.
And it's fortunate that we can see Series 7 now, and that's not the case. There's we're still getting the 2 recolors, but that's a lot of new stuff as well.
That is.
So I'm glad we're at least getting some new stuff, and it's not going to be a every wave from here on out is basically all repacks. Kelnock is all new for sure.
Right.
Dirge is all new. So
all new, yeah.
And you can't even get any. They won't even get any reuse out of Dirge.
Right.
So
one and done.
I think that you will see that a lot where they're going to have to repack some of those when they have brand new, all new, one and done figures and speeders in the cases, especially figure and speeder.
Right.
And who knows, maybe maybe we'll be seeing some weird stuff with Skeleton Crew coming out, these little kids on these bike speeders that we saw pictures of this week.
I like the little Max Rebo guy. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Their little bikes are crazy. I wondered how big he would be in Micro Galaxy. They're going to be tiny.
I wonder whether or not we'll ever get the Power Ranger speeders from Book of Boba Fett.
I kind of hope not. I hope not.
Yeah.
Maybe my least favorite thing in that show.
Oh my God. Yeah, me too. But so the other thing, what was I going to say? There has been a bunch of things leaked on Walmart regarding other items that are out there that could potentially be coming. So
that we've touched on in the past, right?
Yeah, the one thing that I think we would probably both say is don't hold your breath on that. Some of them are incorrect. Already they're incorrect. So
right.
Let's hope that they're all coming. I think that would be really cool to be able to get Maul's Night Brother, the Azure Angel. You got I know Azure Angel was mentioned in the past, but it got pushed out. I remember that was a discussion that it was part of the line, but it got pushed into a later series. So that would be cool to see. Um, and then yeah, what else was there? There was a bunch of other stuff.
Well, the one this week was a Series 9 listing for the ATDP.
Yeah, the ATDP, which was
Popped up in Series 9, which is wild. Again,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. With the Walmart and Target stuff, I'd say you've got a 60-50 chance maybe of it still being accurate.
hmm
With the stuff that's on this UK site, um, I think it's a 90-10 chance of it being
nice,
correct.
cool. I like
And
that.
they so with that's the Marauder info, the Series 7 Scouts,
Gotcha.
and the repack of surprise, the U-Wing is getting repacked with the Rebel version.
Gotcha.
And
Yes, you're
it comes with Rebel Pilot and Rebel Troopers.
oh,
It's a
nice.
recolor of the U-Wing, the blue U-Wing, which means Antoc's value might get a little bump from that coming out too.
Sure. Yeah, what was the other one you said? You said the Ewing, and then I know we've talked about the Ewing before. That was discussed.
So
Is
that
that
that one is now on the site and basically confirmed to be coming out soon.
yep.
Um, the Marauder, that
Oh, the
additional
Marauder.
info from the Marauder is there.
Yeah.
So, while Comic Con wasn't wasn't quite as exciting as I think a lot of us had hoped, some of these retailers are just dropping the goods, filling in
Good
for 'em,
night.
filling in the gaps.
Thanks for
So,
tuning in.
still a lot of cool stuff coming out, even if they didn't use that opportunity to tell us about it.
Yeah, yeah. So some of the other stuff that had been on there, I know I had heard about Enfys Nest Speeder is coming at some point. Um, the Ewing variant, yep, she talked about. Carson Teva's X-Wing is in the works or was in the works.
Was, yeah.
Um, T16, the Land Speeder coming out with the slightly different deco that would be in a battle pack. Then you've got the Jandu Blood, ETDP,
Hope that got
Mauls.
canceled, to be honest.
Oh yeah, same here.
It
The TIE Striker, Imperial Hover Tank, Luke's X-Wing, the Dagobah version.
Which again, I'm not sure what happened to that one. And
Yeah, I'm sure that just got pushed out a little bit, but I'm sure
maybe
it's going to be a chase. But I think that'd be so stupid to do that as a chase. So many people are going to want that.
it's also possible some of these have been canceled. Some of the, unless they had already started on tooling
mhm,
for them, it's possible that a couple
yeah,
of those may not see the light of day.
yep. And then Geonosian Starfighter at some point, which actually looked amazing. Saesi Tin's Jedi Starfighter, and then hopefully Phantom 2. I wonder how they're going to release the Phantom 2. You think they're going to do it as an individual Starfighter class vehicle again?
Uh, yes, I do. I
And
also
then,
think we'll probably have so if I was trying to make uh the most money possible,
mhm,
I'd put my business hat on and go in there and make another um ghost pack that has the Phantom 2 and the season 4 looks of the team.
mm, yeah. And you could do another one with the Ahsoka crew
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. The Ahsoka one would be the easiest because they've got the whole crew already between the T6
Hmm.
um, and all that. But for the most part, you make a Hera and repack Chopper, and that's the easiest way to do it. I would
Yeah.
actually prefer to buy a season 4 version with all the different looks from those characters, but yeah, who knows? An Ahsoka one makes the most sense because their cost is so low. Being able to repack those,
Right.
but I'd be way more excited about a second Rebels version.
Yeah, me too. Anything Rebels, I'm in for. Yep. And then maybe if we could get some puffer
Yeah,
pigs.
Saw Gerrera. I wouldn't mind buying a third U-wing that's a partisan colored
Yeah,
U-wing.
agreed.
It's a
Totally agreed.
great the U-wing's awesome. So I'll buy as many variants of
Yes.
that as they put out.
I remember seeing this actually now that this is mentioned, Phantom 2 with Kanan and Chopper.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember seeing that.
So I think it'll be out there. I can't imagine they wouldn't miss the opportunity to repack the Ghost and sell it again to do that.
Partisan X-Wing and U-Wing battle pack, that would be sick.
Dude, put that on Vault, man. That would be. I
Yeah,
wish they were doing that kind of thing on Vault right now. I wish that's what Vault was for, is for like really weird, obscure repaints of some of this stuff.
right. I agree.
Yeah, man, Partisan X-Wing, Partisan U-Wing, I would 100%. That's an excuse to give us something weird like Saw Gerrera or Two Tubes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and we got to get a defender at some point. Got to
Oh
get it.
man, I would say at this point, now that we've got E-wings and things like that, I think the TIE Defender is probably now at the top of my list for
Right.
what I want to see in the line.
Yeah. I really would just be getting. I mean, they got to make it a common. It has to be a common. I mean, those things are going to sell like crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, once I can get the scale of it, man, I'm just going to 3D print a bunch of them. I'll get one. I'll get one. So,
Oh man, I hope it's coming soon. It would be awesome. Yeah, I also can't believe that the E-wing somehow made it into light armor class. Isn't that strange?
it is very strange. Yeah. I mean, when looking at it
I
from
wonder
front to
why
back
there.
too, um, yeah, I mean, I guess it probably is about right, maybe on the size because it's not quite as deep. But
Smaller than an X-wing?
I have no
My
idea.
guess is that those were probably two similarly sized vehicles, but
I would think so for
it
sure from a excuse me, from a size perspective, but I don't know. I'd have to look it up to see.
I'm sure things can get blurry between those two. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? The
for sure.
scale and everything, they can get blurred a little bit, which is why combine the classes. Make
Yes,
all the
combine the classes,
make all the
please.
retailers carry them. Make them $13.99 or something, and just combine the classes. The
Trying
line
to
will
see.
last longer. My wallet will be happier per
It
wave. You know.
it does look shorter, Cole.
Okay. In the packaging, I don't know. Did you throw that image up that I sent you of the Series 6? Does it look like in the packaging that the nose of the E-wing is not on it?
Let me see.
I had a hard time telling. I was trying to zoom in just to see if they left the nose. I guess they did not. It looks like it's on
No.
there. I just
Yeah, it
wondered if
does
they'd
look
had issue trying to fit it in there. It
it
looks a
does look
little
kind of
short to
stubby.
me, right?
Yeah,
It's
it
a
looks a little stubby, but it
it's a hair stubby.
yeah, for sure. Here is a here is a picture of it. Um
If the
there is what
actual
it actually looks like in the show.
dude, it's
So you can see
stubby.
how much of a nose it has on it from the front of the cockpit, and then
It's stubby, right?
there's what it looks like.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, it does look like it is. It looks like it's maybe 20% too short.
Yeah. It may not be, but just the eye test,
Yeah,
just looking at it with the eye test, it looks slightly stubby to me.
agreed.
Um, if we could have got it a hair longer and thinner and got it in Starfighter class, I would have much preferred that.
Agreed.
That's an odd one. Yeah, I don't. I was very very surprised that that popped up in light armor.
Yeah,
Never would have guessed that.
and I guess you're getting two figures with a bunch of the other light armor stuff as well. But gosh, yeah, to fit it inside that box. I mean, I'm just looking at the
I
the
know.
couple that I have sitting on the wall here. Um, the Jedi Starfighter, how they have it positioned in the box is going to be shorter than the Jedi Starfighter because the Jedi Starfighter is sitting at an angle, at like almost
No,
like a 45-degree angle.
don't tell me that.
What?
That just sounds unfortunate. I'm sure it'll be great. I mean, we'll
Yeah, but it
see.
looks like it fills up a lot of the box, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all the way from one end to the other end of that.
Uh, is that
So,
bubble? Does that bubble look any bigger than some? Do
no,
they have two different size bubbles in those? I can't remember.
it looks the same, but if I
Okay.
measure the side of the box, the front of the box, it's 5 and a quarter inches.
So
That
it's
packaging,
so they probably made it 5 inches long, essentially, or close to 5 inches.
yeah, it's probably pretty close to 5 inches based on what that picture looks like. It's pretty close to
Ooh.
the ends. Yep. Well, that
Yeah, I mean, was that everything? I think we covered pretty much all the main.
all the stuff that I had highlighted in there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's pretty cool to hear Series 7 is coming. Although, yeah, man, I'm hurting here from a financial perspective with all of this stuff that's coming out.
Well, and it seems like there's a lot
So
of
much,
stuff coming that may not be just strictly uh, a set wave.
right? And
So,
not only that, but
some of these $30, $35 SKUs are coming out.
and there's so many things on pre-order right now. Like I've got the Clash of Carcoon on pre-order, the Secret Mission on pre-order, all of the Amazon stuff is now on pre-order. The T6 is on pre-order. It's like, man, are we going to get this stuff in or what?
Yeah, if a lot of that holds, Amazon's going to be shipping a whole lot of stuff in October. They're going to be busy.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
do you remember when the estimate for Clash of Carcoon was?
October.
That's also October?
Yeah.
Man, the 3 packs are still available. All right, on Walmart. So
Yeah.
I might try my luck on another one or two of those.
Well, keep it going, man. Tell us some other cool stuff that's coming, Cole. I'll be right back.
Oh man, I think we're done, man. Let's I've got the COVID, so
Are you ready to sign off?
I'm ready to hit
All
the
right, man. Let's do it.
This
Well,
is as on as I can be right now. My focus
good.
is weird right now.
You look good, man. You look great.
You put me full screen, and I was like, oh, I hope it hadn't been like that a while.
Well, thank you for everybody that tuned in tonight. I appreciate you hanging with us. We covered a bunch of stuff. This will be up on both of our YouTube pages if you want to go back and rewatch any of it. We'll also post some links on the pages as well for everybody to go back and rewatch. Thank you very much. Danny, thanks for showing up. Mark, appreciate all the pictures. Yep, cheers to you as well. Damon, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, thanks, gosh, man. All of these comments are coming in so fast. So
Yeah,
thank you
all
all.
the regulars are here tonight. It's great.
Yep, appreciate it. And for any of those new people that joined, thanks for joining in. We try to do these every other week based on scheduling. We don't always get a chance to do that. So hopefully we'll see everybody in a couple weeks and maybe we'll have some more news. So thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Peace.